One time when I came across someone, I set my car alarm on so that it was making all kinds of noise, and the person that was behind me decided that they wanted to go elsewhere because it was just too much noise already around.
That's a great point. And a lot of times when you unlock your car, the lights will turn on. Lights are typically a deterrent in dark spaces. No one likes to be seen. That also coupled with the eye contact, it serves the same purpose. If you're a bad guy, you want the cover of darkness. You don't want to be seen. So if your car does have that feature when you're in a dark parking lot, hit the lights. You can even unlock your car and then lock your car. Those lights will typically stay on for 30 seconds, 2 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, they stay on for a little while, so that might give you the time to get to your car with the lights on as well. I read online just doing research before this of a scam that's going around. People in like mall parking lots, they'll put what appears to be like $100 bill under your windshield. And so when the woman will go to their car, oh man, $100 bill. So you pop out of your car and you look to see what the $100 bill is, and all of a sudden, you're getting thrown in the back of the car and your car is stolen, and your money's stolen, and your purse is gone, and everything else. So just another thing, if there's flyers in your windows, if you think that you want $100 million because there's a check in your window or whatever, drive away, check it out later. It's under your windshield, it probably won't fly away anyways. We're going at a low speed. Any other questions?
I have arthritis where, like, when I walk really slow and I don't walk at a good gait, and I'm always apprehensive about being in the dark in a place that I don't know any advice for that. I mean, I have a cane, but I leave it in the dark. I don't really use it unless it's slippery all the time.
Okay. If you have your cane, that's a perfect weapon. Well, yeah. Again, make that, if you're leaving work and you just don't feel comfortable, give your husband or somebody a call saying, hey, I'm just leaving work. I'll call you when I get to the car, or whatever the case may be. You can do that. If that's not a possibility for you, the keys in the hand, that's a weapon, you can use it as often as you want in order to get away. Pepper spray might also be an option for you because that's a little bit more deterring to step up, but your awareness is going to keep you safe. If someone's around and you look them in the eye, they're going to know that you saw them, and hopefully that's going
Even
to
if
be
it's dark and I'm leaving a store, leaving a place that I'm not familiar with.
I do too.
I bring a steak.
I'm terrified of you. I said I'm terrified of you. I would be very careful with bringing like knives and stuff like that so that other people can see, because if you're creating an alarm, that.
I usually have it up my sleeve.
Where did you grow up?
When I go out late at night, and I'll take care of the trash. Sometimes it's all 1 o'clock, have a cigarette, walk the building, and just in case, they always have a knife up.
Sure, if that's what makes you feel good, go for it. But know that if someone's harmless and you have that knife, it's on you. You know what I mean? If you stick someone with a knife, that's the end of that. So be very careful. But it sounds like, you are being careful. You're also being cautious. In the back?
I have a suggestion that I was told a long time ago.
Sure.
It's about the person who was attacking me was obviously stronger than you are. And I was told don't try to handle that, break a finger.
Sure.
The pain of breaking a small part of the body is so intense that it will cause the person to drop you.
Yeah, and typical aggressors are guys. Women, in case you've forgotten over all of these years, their private areas are very vulnerable. And apparently it hurts really bad. So when in doubt, give a solid knee, kick them, punch them, grab them, doesn't make a difference.
I didn't hear all of what she said. I'm not sure that everybody else did. Could you have her repeat what she did?
I can, I've heard a long time ago, I was told that it's a matter of strength. It's a struggle of strength. And the attacker is usually stronger than you are because it's their habit. So I was told not to try to get a game away from you or something like that. Try to grab a thing, and that is hating someone's hands if the person will drop.
I have a question about driving your car and having blue lights on behind you. If I'm home and it's not a very busy road, how do I really know that it's a real officer? Especially with more and more cars and cruisers being equipped with the low lights, unmarked almost, etc. I've heard requests to go to a lighted area. And I agree with that concept, but I just wonder, does it annoy an officer if that were to happen? What could I do?
I work in Laconia and most of the city is under lights. But if you're in the backwoods, it might be a little different. I'm really empathetic because I'm a girl. I don't know what other officers would say, but I think the best advice would be to go to a lit area. If it's 100,000 miles away and you know that you're in San Bernardino or you know that you're in Gilmanton, call somebody. Say, I think I'm being pulled over. Can you just confirm that there's a police officer behind me? And if they're like, we don't have anybody on duty tonight, I have somebody trying to pull me over. Please help. This is where I'm in. So that's how that conversation would go with this guy. If you're in Laconia, yes, pull into a lit area. There's one around every corner. Urban gas station is a great place. It's always busy. Any of the gas stations actually in town, they're always busy and they always are well lit. If you don't feel comfortable pulling over to the side of the road, that's okay. But if you do eventually take the chance, if you're like, oh, I don't even know where I am, I'll pull over. If you're being pulled over and you don't feel comfortable, you can ask the officer, can I have your name? Can I have your department or your badge number? They should be very, very readily available to you. It should be a police officer in a uniform. If it's not, you should be able to recite his name, his agency, and his badge number. If you can't do that, I'd say drive away.
Officer Carney, how much do you have to have your window open? Like, do you have to open it all the way when they come, or can you just open it enough that you can talk to them?
You can open it enough. You don't have to have your window all the way open.
It's better protection. I mean, if you're nervous somebody's going to
Yep.
reach in or do whatever, if you open it just enough to talk to them.
Yep. As long as you can provide your information when asked. I've pulled cars over. Are you guys familiar with Laconia on like Meredith Center Road, like after Robbie Mills at night? And I've even thought to myself, man, if I was alone, this would be totally sketchy. But whenever I go to the car, I'm always super nice, say the typical things. If anyone ever had any question, I'd be able to answer them right on the spot. Does it bother us? No. We're here for your safety. If you're all over the road, and the reason why we're stopping you is because, well, you drove in the ditch like 15 times, and now on the 16th time, oh my God, you almost hit that sign. Yeah, if there's something happening where you don't feel right, like you don't feel good, pull over, because that person's probably trying to help you. Any other questions? Yes, sir?
You know, the scam going on all the time, that older people driving a car, and a car was forcing behind them, stop, moving, they're all scared, and teach them over and start talking to them, you know, and just tell them to roll down the window just a little bit and say, follow me to the nearest gas station.
Yep.
Don't get out of your car, even no matter if you get smashed or anything else.
Yep, if you got tapped and your car is drivable, you don't feel comfortable, and somebody does exactly that, hey, I just hit you, I'm wicked sorry. Call the police, say I was just hit on Meredith Center Road, right by Robbie Mills. I don't feel comfortable with this person, can you please send somebody out here? Or drive to the nearest lit area.
Just open the window or crack it.
Right, yeah, you don't have to engage in anybody that you don't feel comfortable with. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am?
I mean, maybe you're the best person to answer this. I was in North Dakota for a little while, visiting. I was on a long, dreary, empty highway. I was by myself. I was going maybe 2 miles above the speed limit, and usually you have, you know, at least, you can go at least 5, you know? Well, that's what I was doing. But I was going like 2 miles over the speed limit, okay? This cop, the sheriff pulls me over. He gives me 2 choices, and I thought it was really fishy. He says I could either, he could either haul me in and arrest me for going 2 miles over the speed limit, or I get in his car, pay him $50, then he lets me go. So, I mean, I paid him $50, you know, so he could let me go.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I thought that was a really strange situation.
yeah, I think so
Usually
too.
they would just give you a ticket.
Yeah. If I did that, I'd lose my job. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, that's really, really weird. I've heard weird stuff like that too. I don't know, I don't know if that's like protocol for other places. I know if you live in Laconia or any of the surrounding areas here, if that happens, you should probably call the police because that's different. And
You know,
whoever's doing that
it made me
should
very,
probably
very
be in trouble.
uncomfortable, you know?
That'd probably make me very
No, it wasn't.
uncomfortable too. Don't get in anybody's car.
Can you request to go to the police station?
Yeah, you can say,
Yes, to go
if
to-
you know where the police department is or,
Yeah, right,
or
I-
something like that, you
I'd
can
like
do
to
that.
go to have
If you're far away from the police department, again, there's nothing that stops you if you have a cell phone. Does everyone have it? Who doesn't have a cell phone? Okay.
I thank you. I came to one of these 2 years ago, and the police officer said the exact same question, who doesn't have one?
Yeah.
I had one the next week.
All right. There's nothing that'll stop you from picking up your cell phone, saying,
See, when
officer,
you don't have a cell phone on you, what can you do? And I didn't have a cell
then
phone.
you can ask that officer, is there a safe place where we can go? I don't feel comfortable right here. And any
You know,
officer
he
that's
gave me,
pulling
he
you
gave
over.
me 2 options.
That
there
officer
or
is
that.
a joke of an officer. I don't know what to tell you about that guy. That's really sketchy. If you're here and you don't feel comfortable, yes, you can ask the officer, can we go someplace safe? Shaw's parking lot has cameras. Walmart has cameras. There's so many places. Any of the gas stations have cameras, so if something weird happens, it's going to be on film. So if you don't feel comfortable, tell the officer, I don't feel comfortable being in the middle of nowhere with you. Can we go someplace else? The answer will always be yes. If it's far away, it's a civilization, he might say, well, you can call the PD to verify who I am. You know, you're safe. I stopped you for going 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, or whatever the case may be.
You know those little boxes that some people have that record, what's your, how is that?
A recorder?
Okay, let's start again. I was told that if you're parking your car at a big public place, like a gym or a grocery store or something like that, that the best thing to do was not to use your electronic lock, but to reach in and push down the little button inside the door. Because there are people who have these little boxes and they can read it.
Reader card.
Right, I get what you're saying.
Not
I
everybody could hear that.
Okay.
Officer, if you wanted to repeat what her question was.
Her
others
question
in the back.
was, or her concern was that there are people out there with like digital readers that if you use your remote car unlock, it can read your car and therefore get inside of your car when you lock the car when you leave, or unlock the car when you're getting into the car. My response to that is I haven't heard that around here, so I wouldn't put that on the top of your priorities for things to worry about when going to and from your car. If it does come to this area, sure, it'll be definitely in the newspaper. Everything new that we ever find out about always ends up in the newspaper, especially when it concerns safety, because our primary goal is to keep everybody safe. Women, men, everybody in our town. I haven't heard of that around here.
It hasn't become a problem yet here.
Not here. No, I haven't heard about that.
Have you heard about, recently I had a friend of mine who's elderly, and she was at the Irving station getting gas, and she left her purse in the car locked. She had only 2 cards with her, one to pay for gas and one in her purse. And she got home and the credit card company called her and said that somebody was using her card. And they think that they were reading her card through her car door, even though it was locked. But I don't know how that can happen, but
Are
they're
you
saying, I
are
don't know,
you
this is
sure?
what she's telling me,
Yeah.
I've heard they have readers on,
Yeah.
actually readers on the
Readers,
car.
you typically have to
Is it
scan
on,
it.
but the
I haven't
card,
heard
but the thing
yet
was,
that
the
somebody has,
card
like,
that they called
X-ray.
about was not the card that she was using to pay for gas. It
Are
was
you
the
sure,
card that
though?
was in her car.
Is she sure?
Yep, that's
Oh,
what she's
really?
saying.
That's what she's saying.
She said she called the police
Yeah.
to make them aware that
I haven't
something
heard
going on.
anything about it, so I haven't heard of
I just
anybody
thought that
having
was,
any
I didn't,
X-ray
right, especially up here.
vision stuff to
Yeah.
get through a purse, to read a card. I have, however, heard of, and it's actually happened to me here in town. I've used my card,
Yep.
swiped it, and then all of a sudden
Does
there's
it-
charges all over the country.
Does it help to have one of those magnetic wallets to put your stuff in?
I don't think
For
so.
safety, it doesn't really work?
No. Because if you're gonna swipe your card,
I can tell you that the thermal linings, like
Yep.
on some of the stuff that we sell, actually
Yep.
will help prevent that, because we talked to some travel agents who we have certain bags, if you carry like the thermal one, you put all your credit cards in there, and
Yep.
you can't read it through the thermal lining.
Oh, really?
So it may not be the magnetic ones, but a thermal line,
Okay.
something would,
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Well,
By
that's
the way,
good to
this
know.
is Lisa, and Lisa has the table set up where it says 31, and it has bags, all kinds of neat bags. I
Okay.
just wanted you, the brochure is in your bag.
And I just wanted to let you know, pepper spray, VIP, AutoZone, any of your stores around here carry it.
Her dad got it.
Yeah, my dad.
Can you legally carry that around?
So you get away, did you say?
yeah, if you spray an officer, you're gonna get the heat times 2 though.
It's not mace, it's pepper spray. So
Right.
there's a difference between whether you're carrying mace or pepper spray.
How much is one of
That's
those?
not, like, if you've ever seen somebody get pepper sprayed by the police, that's not gonna have the same effect. It's not as potent. If you do use that, again, the sole purpose is to spray and get away. Spray, get to your car, and run, or run and drive away.
Can that go through airport security too, that size?
Don't
I
know.
don't know.
Just
I don't know.
one last thing, the Laconia Police Department, and maybe I can talk to you about this later, runs what's called RAD program, Rape, Aggression Defense, I think is what it stands for. Anyways, it's personal defense for women, more along the lines of what this lady over here was saying, break a finger before you know, whatever. It's primarily for women, it's for men too, but it touches upon all the things that you guys had questions about in terms of strength, you know, your ability to work things out. If you can't run away, what do? It'll teach you about the soft spots on the body. It'll show you how to properly elbow, knee, kick. It's just a refresher on things that you may have already known, but it also adds to helping you stay safe. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. I know there's typically ads in the paper. The high school does some, and I can also talk to Betty in the future and maybe get the class to come here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, in this vein, since she's talking about what the Laconia Police Department will do for your personal safety, next Tuesday night, Chief Adams and I think Matt Canfield are coming to the Zonta meeting at Woodside at 6:30 at the Taylor Home to talk about the new POP program about personal, that is a community program that they've just started. And it's to help women prevent domestic and sexual violence. And so if you're interested in, on that topic, it'll be next Tuesday night. And it's free, no good food, there's no food. But it is at 6:30 at the Woodside at the Taylor Home on the same idea of your own personal
Thank you.
safety.
in light of trying to keep us on schedule, we, you know, Officer Cardinal, you did a fantastic job. We learned a lot.